Would you please go off lights? With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the light of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries glow. Okay, thank you. Please take your seats. Okay, page number 3. Setting a proper motivation, which consists of 3 parts. One, Buddha field, or the refuge field. Visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the space in front of us. And the author of the text which we are studying, Lama Tsongkhapa, and all other enlightened beings who you see as your role model for the practice of universal compassion and the profound wisdom of the fearless wisdom of emptiness. And visualize them, the Buddhas Bodhisattvas, as so loving, caring, embracing. And it is not just that we are fabricating it, that they have perfected in the quality of universal compassion for all the being, including you. So therefore, just imagine that they are looking at you with so much love and affection, care and embrace. Bodhicitta field, for whom you are doing this practice, of course for yourself and for all the demon sentient beings. Visualize your 2 kind parents on the 2 sides, all of them members, including children, and everyone, human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, hell beings, god and goddesses, those who passed away, those who are in the hospitals and so forth, here in Root Institute, in India, in your own country, in the entire world, in the Milky Way galaxy, and in the entire universe. And here you are like the mother and all others are like children. And imagine that you have accomplished in the experience of the universal compassion with which you look at the eyes of each of the sentient beings to the extent that each one of them feels themselves so special in your eyes. And the purpose of the practice together here, our being together here, is to awaken the seed of perfection within us, seed of the Buddha nature within us. Everyone has this potential. The seed of perfection referred to as the Buddha nature. Everyone has this seed. And our job is to awaken this seed, to experience your true nature, the fearlessness and infinite happiness. For that matter, we need to know that why this is not in a manifest state yet is because it's defiled by the mental defilements. And to remove the mental defilements, we need to identify the mental defilements. There are two kinds, gross and subtle. The gross one referred to as the afflictive obscurations, the presence of which blocks us from attaining fearlessness, and the subtle one referred to as the cognitive obscurations, the presence of which block us from attaining infinite happiness. So, how to remove these mental defilements is by resorting to a very powerful remedy, and what remedy apply depends on knowing the nature of the mental defilements, knowing that all the mental defilements somehow they're connected with this self-grasping ignorance. The counterforce or the remedy lies in the wisdom to see the reality as it is. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is the discerning mind, whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. And what is the reality? The reality is what the Buddha indicated as the third seal. Everything is the nature of emptiness, selflessness. So, generate very strong desire out of great compassion for all the demon sentient beings, wishing to help them, wishing to take them to be awakened of the Buddha nature, to feel the fearlessness and infinite happiness where people live in the fears, in the war zones, domestic violence, in the various homes, conflicts, tension, stress among the neighbors and so forth. So give them the fearlessness by teaching them how to awaken the seed of the fearlessness within them and letting them expand their sense of joy to infinity. So with this aspiration, that with this sense of the responsibility of the Bodhicitta, may I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings, so that I can teach this universal, the wisdom, the penetrative wisdom to all the demon sentient beings. With this aspiration, let's turn to page 3. As we recite this, again, I'm reminding all of us, one, that it's not just that you are reciting it, just imagine that all beings are joining you, and you are inspiring everybody to join us here, to practice this wisdom, to practice this universal compassion, and that all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are watching us, and then when you recite this, recite it at least where the words flow and the meanings are reflected. It should not be just the words flowing and your mind's distracted, then the purpose will be defeated. Page 3. And teach by great compassion, you taught immaculate dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach by great compassion, you taught immaculate dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach by great compassion, you taught immaculate dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye Jola Zoge Jonam Loi Chanju Bardo Dane Gyabso Chi Tage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Dola Penjere Sanye Dubare Sho Sanye Jola Zoge Jonam Loi Chanju Bardo Dane Gyabso Chi Tage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Dola Penjere Sanye Dubare Sho Sanje Joda Zoge Chonom No Chanju Pardo Dani Yapso Chi Tage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Jola Penjere Sanje Rubare Shum. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all leads hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knowledge of paths causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue and expand a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. The teachers who gather and protect her, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines for the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I chanted the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yevatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hevatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, the cessation causes as well as taught by the Great Seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite, such is the nectar light Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to words. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. Is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom, to you, the mother of the Buddhas, of 3 times obeisance. The 4 seals of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcendent sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings from miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expansive billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of the suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewilderment and misery's gloom. If attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view.
Page 14. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, for destroyer, the completely perfected, full awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, Nur of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and full awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, forms supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, one of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust-free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean. To you the Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that frees from attachment, the virtue that frees from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, wholly feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through this marriage may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the 4 faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Page 29, the Heart Sutra. Again, a quick reminder, as we recite this, 3 points not to miss. 3 points not to miss. Number 1, that what is the question asked by Shariputra to Avalokiteshvara? Number 1. Number 2, what is the response given by Avalokiteshvara to Shariputra? Number 3, what is the benefit if we practice as the Avalokiteshvara taught in response to the question asked by Shariputra? 3 things. And the first one, what is the question asked by Shariputra is, how should the child of a lineage practice the professional wisdom? Meaning that, child of a lineage meaning, anybody who wants to awaken the seed of profession within yourself. I want to awaken this personal wisdom with myself so that I don't have to be afraid of anything. I need not be frightened of anything. I become fearless, number 1. And to awaken the seed of your infinite happiness, where there's 24/7 just joy within yourself, seeing a purpose, the deep purpose accomplished, and which keeps you 24/7, at peace, at ease, and joyful, and because of which, and this is all coming out of the compassion, universal compassion. Your mind spreads with all the beings 24/7. Your thoughts is of the sentient beings, how to create a benefit for others, and meanwhile you just have 24/7 joy within us. So that is the meaning of the child of the lineage, awaken, somebody who desires to awaken that seed of the Buddha nature. Then the next question is somebody who desires, who aspires to achieve that, you have to do something. Without doing action, it'll never happen. So you have to do something. What should we do? We should practice practice the wisdom of emptiness to cleanse the mind of the mental defilements, so that Buddha nature becomes awakened. And what is that wisdom? So that Avalokiteshvara responded, that wisdom, he explained how you are like a dream, and you are nothing but what we did yesterday. The flower is nothing but made of atoms. Nothing but made of, say, the 6 elements: element earth, water, fire, solidity, the water, which is the blood, then the heat, the fire, then the air, which you breathe in and out, then the space, the hollow part of the body, and then the consciousness or the mind. So besides these 6 things, there's nothing, there's a self. It's like a dream. And then each of these elements, they're also like dreams. even the element earth, the solid part, like your heart, lungs, that appears a heart, but actually it's just made of atoms. And there's nothing really there from the object. They do exist, but they don't exist as objectively real. They exist, but subjectively existing. So with this awareness, then it is like you discovering the dream is dream, which happens only when you come out of the dream. Coming out of the dream, you discover the dream is dream. In the dream, you see dream is real. Then you are affected. The moment you come out of the dream stops to affect you, and you are freed. You are liberated from the concept of the dream. So meanwhile, you empathize, you feel compassion towards the people who are dreaming, who are being affected by the dreams. So you help to wake them up from this dream of ignorance. So on the Aravalokiteshvara went into great detail how everything is like dream, that the Four Noble Truths are like dream, then the 12 sources are like dream, and some of you may be wondering what is 12 sources. And then the 18 elements like dream, 12 links of dependent origin is like everything is like a dream. So once you see everything as like, you see partially as a dream, you are partially liberated. If you see everything is like a dream, you are liberated fully. So, and then the benefit, Aravalokiteshvara indicated that this liberation, this understanding of the dreamlike is the gateway, only entrance way, only gateway for all the Buddhas of the past, present, future to traverse to the offshore of enlightenment, full awakening for yourself, for all the beings. This is the greatest liberation for yourself, and the greatest of the gift that you can offer to all the demonstrated beings, to liberate them also to the ultimate happiness. Okay. Keeping these 3 points in mind, let's recite the Heart Sutra. Imagine all beings are with you and all Bodhisattvas are watching us. And the Heart Sutra, the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time, the Buddha was dwelling on Mass of Valchas mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom, and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inner nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inner nature. Form is empty, emptiness of form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composite factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object with touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element and so on, up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging in death and no extinction of aging in death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no known attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifestly completely awaken, unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment and reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, unsurpassed mantra, mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared: Deyata Om Gade Gade Bara Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva should train the profound professional wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Aravalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound professional wisdom just as you've indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Aravalokiteshvara, those surrounded in the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised as spoken by the Buddha. As we recite this mantra, just visualize that we are all there in the place where the heart sutra actually happened, while you speak. And imagine that the Buddha Shakyamuni is exhorting us thus, don't remain in the fears of samsara, come to its ultimate happiness by awakening your seed of Buddha nature. And you're hearing what the Buddha is exhorting us. You then inform this all the demonstration beings. Look, this is what a compassionate teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, is exhorting us not to remain in the fears of samsara by awakening the seed of Buddha nature within us. And then everybody hearing what you are saying, they're so inspired, your parents, your children, all of them members, all sentient beings, they're so inspired. They happily join you in this journey of cleansing the mind of the mental defilements to experience the ultimate, the fearlessness and infinite happiness. So everybody's joining you. Just visualize that. Deyata Om Gade Gade Paragate Parasam Gade Bodhi Swaha Tyata Om Gate Gate Ragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tyata Om Gate Gate Samgate Bodhi Swaha Tyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. By the teachings of three supreme jewels possessing power of truth, may inner and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may all specials and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Okay, 8 verses for training the mind. This is to awaken our compassion, and compassion, how we can work with the compassion. And what we are learning here is not in ways like, oh, be compassionate, be nice to other people. Yes, of course, this is very important, but this is in a way shallow. So we need to go deeper compassion, more sophisticated compassion. For that matter, it has to be worked diligently. That in 2 ways. One is by removing the non-conducive factors, and on the other side, by increasing the conducive factors. Non-conducive factors like the ego, anger, and so forth, and how to stop them. Not by saying that, okay, I'll stop them. It'll never happen. So you have to identify the root. What makes somebody egoistic? What makes somebody angry? What makes somebody short-tempered? Identify the causes. and then fix the causes, remove the causes, automatically anger and these things subside. So likewise, the conducive factors, like seeing the dependent nature, how when you see that other person is so good and you are suffering, of course, many people tend to become angry, jealous. Whereas when you see others are suffering, and then you are so lucky that you have discovered that everything is dream, then gradually the anger subsides, jealousy subsides. Instead, when these subside, the anger, jealousy, and so forth, ego, when they subside, it leaves room for to empathize with other people. Compassion grows by seeing the dependent origination. Compassion, this is the conducive factors to let grow the compassion. And by subduing ego and anger, then the say unnecessary agitation within us, your mind is being filled by these, that it does not leave space for compassion to grow. When these are removed, then by understanding dependent origination, compassion grows very easily. So this 8 ways for training the mind, this teacher, Geshe Langri Thangpa, it must be in his the 11th century AD. So that was 1,000 years ago. So this teacher is extremely renowned for his practice of the universal compassion of the Bodhicitta. And there he identifies the causes of the anger, causes of the ego, and he identifies them, and he taught us how to remove them, so that your compassion comes into existence. And then the verse number 8, it talks about dependent originate, how everything is like illusion, like dream. So we should not be affected by external factors. The main cause for the anger, ego, and so forth is number 1, the fear. The fear. For example, like the COVID, right? When the COVID attacks us, then you have to fear that it may attack me, and I may contract COVID, and I may die. And then when you see that, they say, this is what actually happened to all of us. So when you hear that, oh, there's somebody tested positive, COVID positive next your neighbor, it scares you. And then even the mere thought of that person, for some people, you feel angry. Why this person next to me? So the fear gives rise to the anger. And then with this anger, then the differentiation is created between you and others. Then when you see that others are inferior, you are better off, then the ego comes into being, particularly to combat or to compete with the other side. Then the ego arises when you see that you are in a better position. So these are all extremely unwise the mindsets. In fact, they create tension within you. Anytime the other person can become better, then you'll feel inferior. All these pains are created because of the ego and anger. And so we need to work on this. Simultaneously, we need to work on seeing things like a dream, seeing things as mutually dependent. We are all dependent on each other. So, this is how the 8 verses, just 8 verses, and it's extremely concise to teach us how to expand our compassion. Okay, let's read this together. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confirm that I avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have held or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my two collections, vast the space that I've amassed from working with this practice for a great length of time. May I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom eyes blinded by ignorance. 7. Practice. Excerpt from the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samadhi. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri. You, the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the world's 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With energy or aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle of Buddhas, numberless as particles, each of me is a host of Bodhisattvas, and I'm confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Siddharthas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented walls and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense are offered to you victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high is my miru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array offered to victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these are openly laid bare before you. I lift my heart and rejoice in all the merits of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here still training and gone beyond. You are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening. All you are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of the Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for aeons and numberless atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by making prostrations, offering and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha's teach and I did get. Okay, short model offering. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha felt and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practices on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The 4 Dhammas Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with ignorance that grasps at true existence, please bless me with genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind flows with the precious Bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Radha Mandala Gamni Rate Amen. Okay, foundation of all good qualities. The next page by Lama Tsongkhapa, which is a roadmap to enlightenment, very concise, succinct, The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon with great respect. Understanding that the present freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to gentle mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After that, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karma follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable, seeking them to draw to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into sea of samsara, so fall under my tree and train in supreme bodhicitta and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta but I don't practice the three types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of karma abiding especially inside. Having become a pure vessel by training the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, Supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all out and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages of the paths, may I could attain the state of Vajratara. Okay, let's recite the maximum verse. Praise to Lama Tsongkhapa. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, a Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the seas with the land who snows, Lord Santa by your feet and make prostrations. Kembe Wambo Jambe Yam Kanje Kembe Tsoge Tsokaba Lo Santabe Shabla Sobade Nemezevete Jerese Temekembe Wambo Jambe Yam Kanje Kebe Tsoye Tsokaba Lo Santabe Shabla Sobade Mezevete Jerese Temekembe Wambo Jam
yang kaje ye be zo ye zo ga ba lo sa ta be sha lo so wa de. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, a Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception, Zongkapa, crown jewel of the sage of the land of the snows, Losan Traba at your feet and make prostrations. Okay, next, generating the amount of consummate yoga. For these 4 things to do, first, shamatha practice, then what? Renunciation, then bodhicitta, wisdom of emptiness, and next, taking the aspirational bodhisattva vow, right? Okay, good. First, for the shamatha practice, what we do is that we do a little bit of one little bit of physical exercise, next breathing exercise, and then the breathing meditation for the shamatha practice. Ready? Okay. For the physical exercise, what we do is we need a little space. Don't be too congested. We need a little space. You can push here and there a little bit. Create a little space between 2 people. Okay, good. Okay, first the physical exercise. Hold the 2 knees with your palms. Hold your 2 knees with your palms. Ready? Okay, and your arms straight. Arms straight. And then your right shoulder in. Right shoulder in. Okay, and then say right arm straight and left arm little bent. And what you do is you try to bring your right shoulder as close as possible to the left knee. And meanwhile, stretch your back with your head towards the left as much as possible, but slowly. Okay, ready? 3 times. 1, sit up. Again. 2, 3, good. The next, left shoulder in, and left shoulder and the right knee. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Again the right shoulder in. 1, 2, 3. Left shoulder in. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. How many feel your back stretched now? You feel that? Good. Okay, this is good. Particularly people with this sedentary lifestyle, sitting in the desk all the time, doing the laptop, computer, for them, this exercise is very good because you tend to have a backache. And if you do this once in a while, but if you do too often, again, you can create backache problem. So always middle way. This is the physical exercise. Then the next is breathing exercise. Okay. For this, what you do is pull your hands out, and the thumbs in, 2 thumbs in, wrap the 2 thumbs with other fingers, and upside down, so you have 2 fists. And 2 fists put in your knees. Okay, so when you do it on your own, you don't have to do like this, right? You can directly do it. It's just to demonstrate that this should be how you create the fist.
and you put your arms straight. Okay. Then what you do is that you pull while the two arms are straight. Then you gradually pull through your knees, legs, ribs, and then by the time it reaches your armpit level, then you throw it in the front. But don't do too forcefully. If you do it forcefully, in 2-3 days time, you will have the arm pain. Okay. Then throw the two fists on your left side, with the right fist underneath the left armpit, like this. Okay. Let's do it again. Okay. And then release the index finger. Release the index finger. With the hind side of the index finger, block your right nostril and take a deep breath. Put your hand on your knee and then the exhale 3 times. Good. Again, 2 hands, 2 fists on your knees. Pull through your knees, legs, ribs, and in the front. Now to the right side, like this, and then let go of the index finger. Block the left nostril. Take 3 breaths. On your knee again. Good. Again on your knees. Pull. Then put the 2 fists on your knees, both on the knees. Breathe through both nostrils 3 times. Okay, good. Next, what about share with you is that oftentimes people breathe, but people don't breathe properly. They don't know how to breathe properly. So, how do you know that you're breathing properly or not? How do you know whether you're breathing properly or not? It's just with your right hand, touch your belly. Touch your belly. Touch your belly. And as you breathe in, just observe what your belly is doing, whether your belly is coming out or getting in. Just observe it. Okay, first, just breathe in and see what your belly is doing. With the hands, you can feel it, whether your belly is going out or in. Okay, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, tell me, how many of you, when you breathe in, your tummy goes in? Raise hands. Your tummy goes in. Or how many of you, when you breathe in, tummy goes out? Raise hand. Okay, good, which means that you all know how to breathe properly. Oftentimes what happens is that unnecessary tensions in your mind happens because of wrong breathing. You have a little bit of external factors to disturb you, and then you breathe in the wrong way, where you breathe in, and the tummy goes in, which means that you are squeezing your lungs. Lungs require space, but when that tummy goes in, instead of giving space, it is squeezing the space. So, the intake of the oxygen is so less. And because of this, when oxygen is less, number one, external factors create mental tension, stress, and then oxygen less, it creates disturbance in your physiology, affecting your mind. So unnecessary mental tensions built up because of that. Whereas if you know how to breathe properly, breathe in, the tummy should get out. Because breathing in means that you are taking extra air and the lungs require space. So only space that we can create is 2 ways. Why? The diaphragm should be pushed down, or the chest should expand. These are the 2 possibilities. So when you squeeze your when the tummy goes in, then your lungs are congested when you breathe in. When you breathe out, then tummy should get in as much as possible to squeeze out the air as much as possible, so the carbon dioxide goes out. And when you breathe in, tummy goes out, and of best of course there's separate exercise. Tummy goes in and out, and then chest goes in and out, and then both go in and out. There are the separate exercises there, but at least that the tummy goes out when you breathe in, tummy goes in when you breathe out. When you do that, if you make it a habit, then gradually become a habit. Otherwise, naturally, if you when you breathe, it is that when you breathe in, the tummy goes in. This is the wrong breathing. Okay, good. Now we will do this once more. The breathing. Ready? Okay. Your fists on your knees. Fists on your knees. Good. Pull. Next. Next. Okay, good. Now the breathing meditation. So this breathing exercise is also known as the 9-round breathing breathing exercise. 9 round because 3 3 3 now 9. Okay, good. Next is breathing meditation. So the final instruction that I'm giving here for the breathing meditation. From tomorrow, no instruction. So this is the third day that I'm giving the instruction. The first, what is the 4 things to keep in mind? One is body posture. Number 2 is focal point. What is number 3? Identifying the errors of meditation. Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Thank you. Okay. First, the body posture. This is also known as the seven limb Buddha Vajrayana's position. 7-limb Buddha Vajrayana's position. And the first one is the cross-legged. If you can sit cross-legged, well, good. And the benefit is that it can sustain your meditation longer. And whereas if you have knee replacement problems, knee surgery and so forth, don't force yourself. No need to. It's not mandatory. Next is body upright. This is so important. But if you have backache problem, don't force yourself. Whatever position is most good for you, do that. Whereas if you have no such health issues or backache problems and so forth, then don't lean against the support. Keep the body upright, straight, back straight. Okay. So the reason why we are doing this is that, particularly when you practice meditation for some time, then you can see the stark contrast between the position, one, leaning against the support, number 1. Number 2, your back bent like this. Both ways, you see that the state of mind, when your mental consciousness should be meditating, you see that the level of mind will instantly drop when you lean against the support. The moment you lean against the support, instantly you see that your mind, the rigor of the mind, the freshness of the mind, rigor of the mind will drop instantly. Likewise, when you sit like this, instantly your level of mind will drop. So the rigor is compromised. So therefore, the body upright yet flexible. This is so important. Body upright yet flexible. And your head tilted forward a little bit. And your eyes not closed. Eyes 45 degrees. Eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down, and ignore. Your eyes should not be meditating. Meditation is done by your mental consciousness. Breathe normally. Your tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excessive accumulation of saliva in your mouth. The teeth and the lips in the normal course. Breathe normally. Right hand on your left hand with the two thumbs joining, forming a triangle. Place the two hands on your lap in restful state. That is your body posture. Next, focal point. Focal point, two things. First is just count the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. So combined together is one cycle. Breathe in, breathe out. So this is what we're going to do for 5 minutes. And for the next, so till this retreat, I would suggest all of us to practice both multitasking, which means the breath, counting the breath, as well as visualizing a tiny white dot, like say, tiny white dot. When you punch the paper, when you punch a hole to the paper, there's a tiny white paper coming out, like that size between your nose and upper lip. So like this white, like this white dot between nose and upper lip. So that's the visualization. And then counting the breath. Two things are happening together simultaneously. And it can be difficult. With your eyes closed, eyes open, it can be quite challenging. But I would still suggest you to do that. Keep doing this for till the retreat ends. And after the retreat, if you really find it very difficult to do both, then you go for one. Whereas if you can do both, if you can succeed, may not be too successfully, but even if you can do it, then the best is do both. Okay, that is the focal point. Next, identifying the errors of meditation. Two potential errors. One is mental laxity, and the other one is mental excitement. Mental laxity is where the mind, you find the mind very inactive, and the excitement is the overactivity of the mind, distraction, and in a way, is the distraction of the mind, mental scattering. All this fall into this category. And then number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Remedies twofold. One, introspection, and the other one is mindfulness. Introspection is to keep an eye on your mind to see what your mind is doing. Whether it's mind meditating, or it is distracted, or it is in a lax state. If you see that it is in a distracted and lax state, then apply the mindfulness. Mindfulness like the rope. With the help of the mind, the rope of the mindfulness, bring the mind back to the intended object of the meditation. Ready? 5 minutes.
Yes. Okay. This is good question. Ideally speaking, we can focus wherever, not necessarily here, wherever. There's no fixed position, but be very careful. You know why? Because what we are seeing is just the biology. We don't see the physiology. And even the physiology, there is the what is so visible, grossly seen is the biology. Then behind that is the subtler one, the physiology. And behind that is the psychophysical combination, which is the nervous system. Not really nervous system, what is known as the chakras and the channels, which are not visible. Doctors cannot see that, neuroscientists cannot see that, but it is there. And the say, simply because we cannot see that, doctors cannot see that, neuroscientists cannot see that, you can feel free to do that. No, it's very scary, particularly if you visualize, do this visualization at certain points, particularly like this here, forehead, at the heart position. It can be very risky until you are really, really well prepared. Well prepared meaning that all the preliminary practices you have already done. Wisdom of emptiness, Bodhicitta, and then the visualization practices, different visualization practices there. Unless you have gone through these practices, if you do visualize like this, your mind can go crazy. You getting it? So it's very safe. It'll teach you how to do the visualization. At the same time, it'll not create any psychic problem. It's very dangerous. Particularly people say okay, I meditate on the third eye. You getting it? And it'll really give you third eye. Right? Don't do that. So many people do that, and then they say that they become crazy and they come that, please help me. Impossible. Impossible. So to destroy is very easy. To fix is very difficult. Particularly, even the medical doctors cannot do anything because medical doctors, what they see the biology, and they can understand the physiology. That's it. Behind this, they don't see that. They don't know that. Medical doctors. So therefore, these are the big problems. Big problems. So once you go into this problem, your mind can go haywire. You will not have sleep. 24 hours, your mind will go haywire, no control. You'll just lose control because of the flow of the energy. Any disrupted flow of the energy. Very scary, very dangerous. Not only scary, very dangerous. It'll damage your life. Just over there. Exactly, yes. Visualization, and it's not a huge dot, it's a tiny dot, because that huge is very easy. Think of a house, it's very easy. But the tiny, your mind should be focused, channelized. You getting it? So we're learning how to channelize the mind. Okay, good. Yes. Okay, here. Breath. Not the sensation, white dot. White dot. But if you do come across, the some traditions, instructions, teachers who ask you to observe the sensation, that's a different story. It's not wrong. It's perfect. But you should keep things clean. You getting it? So if you're doing this practice, do this. And if you want to do the other practice, do that. And if you want to do the alternate, don't mix up the two things. Say morning you want to do this, evening you want to do the sensation, you do that. You can do anything, provided that you don't mix up the things. Yes, it's fine, whatever.
the two things should happen. Be it foreground or background, it doesn't matter, right? Should happen. And then let it happen for a few, say 2-3 weeks and see. Yes, Oscar. Okay, for analytical meditation. So now we are doing the analytical. So single point meditation we did, stability meditation we did, the just observe the breath. Now next analytical, which is like meditation on the four seals, meditation on Bodhicitta, meditation on wisdom and emptiness. So these are analytical. For the analytical, and the best would be keep your eyes open, but even if you keep your eyes closed, analytical is something where you deliberately keep your mind active. When you close your eyes, the tendency for our mind to sink happens. With the analytical meditation, mind sinking will be much less chance because it is deliberately you are keeping it active. You are doing the analysis. So eyes open is fine. Eyes closed is fine. But if you want to do the eyes open, this is best. Good. Okay. No, finally, so this is a good question. Finally, why are you doing the stability meditation? If it's for the purpose of what is known as accomplishing shamatha, like becoming the specialized in shamatha meditation. Shamatha, you are like to attain shamatha. Shamatha meaning the highest level of the stability meditation. To attain that, in which case you are advised not to change the objects. Like, oh, I do this shamatha today, this morning, and after I do that, if you keep changing, you will never attain shamatha. You're getting it? So if you really want to attain that level of the shamatha, then you have to stick to one. You can practice 2-3 different things. From there, you choose one, and then just focus on that. Whereas if the purpose is not for that purpose, no, I don't. I'm not really concerned about. I'm not really interested to attain shamatha. I just want more like, so emptiness, bodhicitta for this meditation. I want the stability. I want the stability to some extent, not the full extent. Some extent of stability is good enough. Then you can shift. It's fine. You can do one thing in the morning, one in the afternoon, and so forth, if you're interested. Whereas the best thing would be stick to one if it's more effective. Finally, the shamatha practice, if you can say attain the highest, there's no harm. It's only benefit. There's no harm. So why not we go for the better one rather than you're distracted and effectiveness is lost. Okay, good. So shamatha is a state where the where your ability to single pointed focus is extremely high quality, that you can remain focused on one object with the minimum of 4 hours in stretch. 4 hours, in 4 hours without any distraction, you're able to sit on the particular object with vividness, clarity, without laxity, without excitement, without scattering, and also that it should be within the spirit of the, or what we call as the pliance of the mind, pliance of the mind, pliance of the body, meaning that the serviceability, the physical bliss will come, mental bliss will come, and this bliss initially can distract your mind a little bit, and later on you continue to practice, then this bliss, or the technical word is the pliancy. Pliancy, pliancy meaning serviceability, flexibility of the mind. So this pliancy is described as extremely the peaceful and calm and tranquil experience and blissful. So that experience of bliss should enrich yours the stability focus. That is known as shamatha. Last, otherwise we will not finish the course. Gabor, yeah. Okay, so basically I would say that for the materials, one book that I would suggest is by my teacher. The first book that I would suggest would be my teacher's book when we are beginners. Gilam Limbarambuchen, who was a lifelong retreatant. His book is Calming the Mind. The title is Calming the Mind, and the author is given as Gen Lamrimpa. Gen, Gen, Gen Lamrimpa. That's the author. The author. It's not a big book. It's maybe about like 80, 90 pages. Calming the Mind by Gen Lamrimpa. 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 This is the first book that you. Then, when you become really enriched philosophically, when you become good in philosophy and the psychology, when you really become good at it, and you really want to go into the technicalities, then you have to study Lama Tsongkhapa's book. Lama Tsongkhapa's book. There is a set of 3 books. Actually, in Tibetan is only one, but in English it is broken down into 3 volumes, known as the Great Treatise on the Stages of the Path to Enlightenment. Let me repeat it: the Great Treatise on the Stages of the Path to Enlightenment. Lamrim Chenmo, Lamrim Chenmo. The Great Treatise on the Stages of the Path to Enlightenment. It has 3 volumes, and the third one has, within that there are 2 sections. The first section of the 3rd volume is on the single point of meditation. So that is technical. So the beginners, if you read this, you'll not feel like doing meditation. You're getting it? Because that Lama Tsongkhapa's style is extremely technical, and particularly somebody who is so well introduced to these concepts, then you want to look for the nuances. Okay, I have this problem, I have that problem. Nuances, then you will get these answers from Lama Tsongkhapa's books, right? And initially you read it, you will feel lost. It's like somebody who is brought from like the 3,000 years ago, a little boy, a young girl, and suddenly drop in Manhattan, right? You'll get lost. So this is like we are like a boy or a girl from a remote 2,000, 3,000 years ago and drop in the ocean. So you get lost in the Lama Tsongkhapa's books. Whereas if you read some easier books, like my teacher's book, that will be good for the beginners. Then study the philosophy, Narendra studies. Narendra studies will be extremely good. And there are many courses, not only Tibetan courses, there are many courses all over the world. Right? Whichever suits you better, whichever you think is more. In some cases, if you're in Delhi, then you can come on offline. Otherwise, most of the people, they're online. So in your own place, if there are good centers, good courses, join. Offline is better always. Offline is better than online. You're getting it? This is reality. Be very realistic, and particularly if what I would suggest is that Tibet House is very remote from many of the places, right? But I'm not discouraging you. You like to join it. There's no harm in it. You try it. What's the problem? So meanwhile, around your place, if there are some good teachers, centers, be associated with the centers. Be associated with the teachers. You're getting it? It's not necessary that teachers should be so vibrant, be so like sitting on a very high throne. Not necessary. Someone who's compassionate, who's learned, and who's open-minded. If you see somebody who takes care of you, who does not look at your money, you're getting it? Instead, who looks at you as a person who needs help. So these are genuine teachers. So then be attached to such teachers. Not necessarily that, there's a course happening in Tibet House, everybody's doing that, I've also have to do that. You want to do it, no harm. But why not you use the living teacher there next to you, around your place? Nowadays, the APMT is an amazing center. It has many centers all around the world, and many good teachers are there. And particularly one quality required is the compassion of the teacher. If the compassion is missing, even if somebody is so learned, is so popular, but the compassion is missing, no point. That is an extremely important quality. Meanwhile, don't feel complacent. Simply, oh, the person is very compassionate, and you go there, have a cup of tea. That is, the purpose is defeated. Compassion plus knowledge. There should be at least some degree of knowledge there. Some degree of knowledge, and compassion is the key. When these two things are there, and the integrity, these three things are there, then why not you make the most of these facilities? So usually, when people ask me, okay, now I'm going to my own country, how should I continue with this studies and so forth? I say that just explore if there are centers there, particularly FPMT centers. FPMT center, like Tushita is a part of FPMT. If there's a such center there, these are very reliable. Otherwise, you may think that, oh, I went to Dharamsala, then the RC teachings from His Holiness Dalai Lama is amazing. Then everywhere there is some really dependent. It must be like what His Holiness is, teaching. You there, you can end up in strange places. You're getting it? Tibetans, but very strange places. And then so hard to come out, and even strange things can happen. You're getting it? So FPMT is a very safe place. FPMT, you will not be in the wrong direction, number one. Because all the blessings, because of the blessing of His Holiness Dalai Lama, Lama Yeshe, and Lama Sopa Rinpoche, that the people in FPMT, usually there's no danger of going the wrong track. Otherwise, there's every danger there. So, but this is what I'm saying is that just see if there are good teachers around your place, wherever you came from. Why not you associate with those teachers and those centers? And when you go to the centers, the teachers is fine. Teachers, of course, the teachers should be good. Main quality should be compassion. Compassion, and not looking at your money or any other thing. You're getting it? Looking at you as a person who requires help. Compassion. That is the key, along with the knowledge, adequate knowledge of following Tibetan Buddhism, and the knowledge of the Nalanda tradition. That is so important. These two things are required. So, then with the centers, the moment we talk about the centers, which means that if the teachers they're best, if not, then the center members are there. And the center members, don't expect that all the center members are the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You getting it? You go there, oh, Dalai Lama is amazing, His Holiness is amazing. Oh, there's a Tibetan Buddhist center here. You go there, right? And the center, even the people who are working there, they're volunteering. They're volunteering. They're actually sacrificing their own, many things. Yet they are not perfect. So they have their own difficulties, problems. Why should you have to add problems to them? Right? See if you can be service to the center, serve. If not, I usually say that be like a bee. What did I say? Be like a bee, meaning that, say, this flower is the center, right? And you are a bee. Behave like a bee. Don't behave like the crazy elephant. Damage the center and go. You're getting it? Be like a bee. Bee goes there, for example, Tushita. Right? It's not a flattery. I know Venerable Kumbhena for all these many years. We all, not only we, anybody who's connected with Tushita Center, the last many years of the Venerable Kumbhena stay here, we are very lucky. In fact, I started coming to Tushita Center because of Venerable Kumbhena, not for any other reason. I know her so well. So, centers with such a person like Venerable Kumbhena is so rare. You're getting it? Don't expect that everywhere is like Venerable Kumbhena everywhere. Don't think that. So in the different centers, they have their own complications. So be like a bee, which means this flower is like the center. You are like the bee, right? Don't behave like a rampant elephant. Right? Go there, damage, and then supposed to be going there to heal yourself, you damage the center and you leave. You're getting it? Don't do that. Be like a bee, which means that fly, land on the center, and
take the honey. Don't damage the center. You get it? Don't forget it. If the center moves like this, leave. Don't damage it. Say, if this moving like this, then what will the bee do? Bee will fly away. You're getting it? If you see that there's so much of some places, empty centers are very good. You're getting it? There are some other centers. It's not that. So it's not that because the APM center is good doesn't mean the all centers is good. You're getting it? They're very complicated centers. I'm warning you. I'm warning you. Because that people around His Holiness, the monastery centers around His homes, they're so good, so welcoming. Don't expect all the centers in the world they are like this. Some of them are just to manufacture money, create money for themselves. You're getting it? So, ideally, the centers should be as good as Tushita Center. But don't expect that with all. You're getting it? Even the people in the center, don't expect everybody to be like Vanbukumilla. Don't expect that. So, when the flower moves like this, right? What will the bee do? Bee will fly away. You getting it? Don't disturb the center. Fly away. And you did not come to the center to sit. Oh, center! I came here to evaluate the staff here. No, you came here to learn something for yourself. And then while you're in the center, then you start evaluating these staff. This is not your job. You have missed your purpose. Purpose is to learn something from this, not to evaluate. You're getting it? Oftentimes we forget the purpose, and then this person is not good, that person is not good. If you don't, you leave. Why you have to stay there? So this is how people, many people, they end up with a problem themselves, create problems to the centers, right? And if you really feel that the centers are really, you have a concrete proof that the center is not good, people are bad and so forth, then of course, but with the best of the intention, right? So, if you come in contact with the FPM centers, all these dangers are of no dangers. You're getting it? So therefore, I always recommend people that when they ask me, where should I go to? What centers should I go to? I say that just check if there is a FPMD center around your place. This is what I tell them. With this, the danger is gone because the main instructions coming from the Lama Subarimpoche and Lama Ishiza was amazing teacher. I've never met him. Lama Ishi, this teacher of Lama Subarimpoche, I've never met him. But when I read his books, I could see that he's extremely refined scholarship. Extremely refined, extremely bright, and charisma. And of course, all these amazing qualities are there. And Lama Subarimpoche, amazing. So, and two of them are inspired, blessed by the main umbrella of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So all the centers are under APMT. Naturally, they'll follow their, the thinking pattern, which is, say, the very safe. So, if you ever in your in your own countries, if you ever to be connected with Buddha centers, just the APMT centers, I would say that I don't know all the centers, but APMT centers, I can assure you, they're very safe places. Okay. Good. Now we have only about like 29 minutes. No, 39 minutes. Okay, we'll do one thing. What we did yesterday. Okay, let's quickly do the 4 seals. Renunciation. For renunciation, usually we do on the basis of the 4 seals, which we did before we studied already, 4 seals. And the renunciation practice, there are various traditions, and all these different traditions, they finally see that it's all rooted to the Buddha's own teachings of the 4 seals. So we directly do the 4 renunciation based on the Buddha's teachings, the 4 seals, rather than very specific traditions. And then for the Bodhicitta, there are 2 methods, and I'm not sure whether we get time to do the 2 methods. If you do get, well and good. If not, then we do the 4 immeasurables, and the emptiness and aspirate Bodhisattva. Okay, so quickly, the renunciation is based on the
4 seals. Ready? Given that this is an analytical meditation, and I'm going to give the instructions. And but analytical meditation doesn't mean that you always require instruction. Eventually, you should be able to do that on your own, without having to depend on instructions. Which means that you should be well versed in the learning, the knowledge of these concepts. You should have a rich knowledge of these concepts in order to be able to successfully do the analytical meditation of these. Or for time being, we will do the guided. And meanwhile, don't try to compare, contrast with what you've learned before, studied, read before. No need to, don't do the compare, contrast. If you at all you want to do that, you can do it later after the meditation. With meditation, try to invoke the experiences to the best you can. Are you ready? Renunciation. The main of the renunciation is to renounce the miseries. To renounce the miseries, we need to know how to renounce the causes of the miseries. And the Buddha identified the root of the miseries, ultimate root cause of the miseries is ignorance. And the ignorance Buddha identified, while there are many kinds of ignorance, Buddha identified 4 levels of ignorance which are more directly affecting our emotions destructively. First one, misconceiving, ignorance misconceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent, and ignorance misconceiving impure things as pure. Ignorance which misconceives miseries as happiness, and ignorance misconceives subjective reality as objective reality. To overcome the 4 levels of ignorance, the Buddha taught the 4 seals. The first seal, all composite things impermanent. All composite things which are composed of material particles and temporal parts. Material particles like the physical matters, like body, house, plants, flowers, and so forth. And that the temporal parts, of course, all the physical and the mental, they all constitute the temporal parts. Whatever is of impermanent nature should necessarily have the temporal parts. But the mind, mental, has only the temporal parts without the directional parts. So whatever is constituted or composed of these 2 kinds of parts should necessarily be impermanent. And impermanences of 2 kinds, gross impermanence and subtle impermanence. Within the gross impermanence, yes, 2023 stopped, whose continuum terminates. In 2023, the continuum terminated already. Likewise, our youth, the continuum terminated. And those who are young will terminate. And of all these, the most important thing is the impermanence of death, where we have to leave this body, we have to leave this world. This is what is bound to happen. And beautiful the sunshine also ends. Beautiful sunset, people crave to see that, also ends within a few minutes. Believe it or not, 200 years ago, on this planet Earth, there were same people, less in number, but same people, young, old, parents, children, and the parents have so much expectation on their children, and the children have their own expectation of their life, their career, and so forth. Where are these people today? They're all gone. Some of them your age, some of them younger than you, some of them older than you. Where are they now? Not even a single one is present today. Whether they aims, objectives, plans, careers, whether they're accomplished or not accomplished, they're all gone. Only few are remembered. Don't think that we are fortunate ones, we are alive. Don't think that. 200 years down the line in the future, not even a single person out of the 8 billion human beings today will be alive then. Whether you are objectives, whether plans, good plans, bad plans, your career, parents' expectation over from the children having so much of expectation with their career and so forth, whether they are accomplished or not accomplished, 200 years down the line in the future, all will be gone. This impermanence. Only few will be remembered. If you don't believe in this, do you remember? Do you know the name of your great grandmother, great grandfather? Do you know the names of the great father, mother of yours? They did exist. But do you know them? Forget about them. We don't even know their names. So this is impermanence. This will happen one day, that this world will be inhabited by people who are totally unknown today. This impermanence. And this impermanence is marked where the continuum stops. This is marked. The visible impermanence is possible only if there's a subtle impermanence, momentariness involved there. That the flower, which seems so beautiful, within the span of 10 days, 20 days, it starts to droop. So, that the flower exists for 10 days and then eventually drooping, which means it's changing all the time. And this change that you see within a span of 10 days is possible only if the change is happening on a daily basis. And the change that you see over the daily basis, by day is possible only if this change happening within the hour by hour, 24 hours. The change that you see in the hour's time is possible with the change in the minute, second, millisecond. So this is how the world changes. Your mind, your body changes, the flower changes, this house changes. Yes. So when the change is happening on the second level, yes, it's visible. Tick, 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 tick. When the change is happening on the millisecond level, it's so fast. And it is purely the limitation of our eyes, shortcomings of our eyes, that we cannot see this very fast, constant, fast flux of our body, of the world in which we live, the people around you. There is no composite phenomena which does not undergo this momentary change. The moment you try to grab at things, what you are actually grabbing at things is already gone by the time it reaches the object. By the time you bring the object closer by you, what you have grabbed at is already gone. So it's all like illusion that we are creating, that we are getting a feeling that, oh, I got hold of this cheesecake, I got hold of this. Actually, what you actually feel attached to is already gone. And what you grab at is already gone by the time it comes to you. So this is how the composite phenomena is changing. It's very scary. Yes, if you could just imagine how the whole universe is operating so momentarily, disappearing. It's very scary. It is like that you are thrown in a very fast moving train. So fast the train moves, more the fear. Why? We don't know where this train is taking us. And who decides where this train is taking us? Train driver. If the train driver's mother is amazing, it'll take you to a picnic spot. But if the train driver is a terrorist, or the train driver is in the dictate of the terrorist, it'll only take you to slaughterhouse, which means the faster the train moves, more the fear. And in our case, what is a train driver? Our mind. And this mind is under the dictate of the worst of the contamination, self-grasping ignorance. So where the driver is under dictate of the worst of the contamination, self-grasping ignorance, it will only take us to the miseries. The faster you see your body, your mind, the world moving, more the fear, because it is taking us to the more and more miseries. This is what the Buddha indicated as all contaminated things are of misery nature, suffering nature. Means like what? Three kinds of miseries. Suffering, manifest suffering change, they bait to trap us in samsara, and suffering, the pervasive condition suffering, the mastermind of all these miseries. These are so the devilish, so evil, these miseries. One moment of such misery is good enough to nullify all the past moments of what we call as merriments, festivities, celebrations, birthday parties, family gatherings, and so forth. This all so shallow, hollow, grim in the face of one moment of such the pain of having lost near and dear ones and so forth. All what we see as the merriments, the festivities, the, the weddings, wedding party, and so forth. These are all so hollow, meaningless, so deceptive in the eyes of one moment of such a tragedy to lose having lost somebody who is so near and dear to you. Everything shatters will be seen as so gloomy. This is the meaning of all contaminated things of suffering nature. Yes, wise people will see that. Unwise people will see the surface flowers. They will not see the fire burning underneath this. So wise people will then come with the next question. When will these tears of samsara stop? They will never stop on their own unless until we put effort. What kind of effort is required? Yes, we have to in order to put the effort, the remedy, we need to identify the nature of the root of the problem, root of all these tears. The root is the self grasping ignorance, contaminated karmas, given rise to by the afflictions, given rise to by inappropriate attention, and given rise to by self-grasping ignorance. Not knowing that we are in the dream, seeing the dream is real, grasping the dream as real, object for real, that's a problem. Okay, how to get rid of this? By introducing the counterforce, which is wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is the discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What's the reality? The reality is what the Buddha indicated as the third seal. Everything is in nature, emptiness, selflessness. Okay, just imagine that we just discovered that you just imagine that just we wake up from the conventional dreams or conventional sleep, you discover that whatever you dreamed is just the subjective and is empty. The moment you discover there is a dream, empty of being real, you stop being affected by the contents of dream. Likewise, we are going through the unconventional dream. From the conventional dream, we wake up every day, but from the unconventional dream, we have never woken up since time immemorial till now. So the moment you wake up from this unconventional dream, then you stop to be affected by all the contents of the dreamlike nature of the world, samsara. That is a freedom, that's liberation. Just imagine that you wake up from this unconventional dream. You see everything like a dream. Dream is dream. And you are now stopped being affected by the contents of the dream of the world. Just imagine that you discover that you have this all like dream. With this, all including your miseries, stress, tension, depression, sorrows, they're equally like dreams. You wake up, they're all dissolved. You transcend the sorrow. That is absolute peace, absolute liberation. You are liberated. If you're able to sustain that experience of the waking up, you transcend all the sorrows, which is that liberation, absolute peace. Stay in this experience for a while and pray, may I experience this waking state, which is a state of waking up from the sleep of ignorance, so that you stop to be affected by the contents of the dream, contents of samsaric dreams altogether. This is liberation. This is renunciation. Are you good? Come out of this practice. Now we'll move to the Bodhicitta. Are you ready? For the Bodhicitta, we'll do the four immeasurables. And all the four immeasurables today we'll do only the first two. Okay, Bodhicitta is the universal compassion, universal, say, the altruistic intention to become Buddha, to awaken your seat of perfection within yourself, so that you experience fearlessness and infinite happiness, and that you're able to benefit all the beings to go to see this wisdom, to experience this, the ultimate freedom. Okay, ready? And for this, we require a lot of inspiration, blessings from Buddhist Bodhisattvas. So, to invoke these blessings from all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, let us visualize all Buddhist Bodhisattvas around you, particularly Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all these great enlightened Narendra, great masters. And they're so kind, so compassionate, and they're looking in the eyes of you with so much love and affection. And you are surrounded by your two parents, all of them members, including children, and all demon sentient beings living on the side. First, immeasurable loving, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering? Causes of suffering primarily consisting of self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddha's Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment, like the mother after all these many years of the hardship in raising her children. Today, the oldest girl just aged 12, and the son aged 11. Two of them come to the mother, telling the mother, "Mother, you have done everything for us. You love us so much. And we also love you so much. We're grown up now. We'll take care of ourselves. Please, we'll take care of you also." And the mother could not believe her eyes and ears. Tears of joy comes out of the eyes. This is exactly what is happening to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They're so happy and proud of you for making this commitment to take the responsibility to all the dear sentient beings upon your shoulder. And this joy and the pride and happiness all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas experience invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars, very soothing lights towards you and all dear sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies makes you yours, washes away all the miseries and the cause of miseries from the minds of sentient beings of yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the demon sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound with relief. Next, immeasurable joy, immeasurable the loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. May all my dear sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. Cause of happiness primarily consisting of the most beautiful mind of Bodhicitta, which wishes to become Buddha for the painful demon sentient beings, and the most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. The Buddha's Bodhisattva Spirit is saying that you making such a courageous commitment, the intense happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassion omniscient minds to send forth nectars of very soothing lights towards you and all demon sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies makes you yours. instills in all happiness, cause of happiness within you and all demonstration beings. And you witnessing that such miracle is happening to us, all the demonstration beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Our body is incredibly beautiful, compassionate mind. For a while, with folded hands, we'll make a Bodhicitta commitment together 3 times. I'll say this line of Bodhicitta commitment, and then we'll all say this 3 times together. And try to be as naturally flowing with these words as much as possible. And at times you may feel that it doesn't really resonate with what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. This is, even if it is very superficial, it doesn't matter. This is meaning of the practice. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Slowly transform this beautiful Mara Bodhicitta into a spotlessly clean moon disk, 1 inch or 1.5 inches or 2 inches in diameter, horizontally sitting with the heart. Okay, it's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha for the benefit of demon sentient beings, but don't forget that no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. Yes, that's true. But I'm not like a handful of sand. I'm rather like a handful of sunflower seeds. I do have the potential for Buddhahood. I have the Buddha nature within me. Everybody has the Buddha nature within us. Yes. But how come that since time immemorial till now, this Buddha nature is not awakened? Yes, it's all because that since time immemorial till now, I'm being deceived by these 2 demons, self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude. Today, I'm disillusioned by these 2. I'm going to do everything to exterminate these 2 demons, to eradicate these 2 demons. What are you going to do? How are you going to do that? I'll apply very strong remedy. What is that remedy? The wisdom of emptiness. What is this wisdom of emptiness? Okay. Let's quickly meditate emptiness, guided. Okay, what are you doing? I'm meditating. What is your body doing? My body is in meditative posture. And how does this person appear to, who you identify as I, appear to? Like a dream, that you are subject mind, like a dream is creating it, or is so objectively real, is so solidly there, meditating. Yes, of course, so solidified, objectified, so solid from the object. This is known as self-grasping ignorance. How do you know that this is self-grasping ignorance? How do you know that this is not a valid mind? Okay, how do you evaluate this? Remember what Arjuna taught in Precious Garland. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? With a similar token reasoning, if this self who identified as I were to exist objectively, why don't I see this self as I go closer to this object? Okay, now let us go closer to this object to see if the object does exist, if the self does exist as objectively. So the mind which goes closer towards this object is known as the ultimate analysis. In technical terms, we are subjecting this self to ultimate analysis. Subjecting this self to ultimate analysis, you are looking for this self, objectively existing self, and anything which is not the self, just discard, ignore. You're looking for the objectively existing self.
Okay. Now going closer, subject and cellular ultimate analysis. First, what you see the thin layer of the skin. Of course, that is not me. Ignore this. Behind that, the fatty tissues. Behind that, muscles, cartilages, the whole skeleton, heart, lungs, liver, pancreas, intestine, stomach. None of the all these solid parts of your body constitute the element of earth. So none of the element of earth is to be identified as the self, as intrinsically as the self. Okay. Now what about the element of water, the blood? 4 liters of blood which is pumped in and out by the heart to the different parts of the body. Of course, that is not me. It's not the objective I. It's not the me. What about the element of fire? 2,600 joules of energy of your body. In other words, the body warmth, the body heat. Of course, that is not me. What about the element of air? The 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in and out through your lungs. Of course, that is not me. And space. 99.99% of your body is vacuum. Your body is nothing but made of atoms, and atoms are nothing but made of the nucleus with the electrons, with protons and neutrons at the center, surrounded by the electrons. The gap between the nucleus and the electrons is enormous. So this is who you are. You're nothing but 99.9% of your body is just vacuum. But this element of space is also not me. This space is vacuum in nature. I'm not a vacuum, I'm a solid person. So therefore even this space is also not me. What is left now? Your consciousness or your mind. Even this consciousness, element of consciousness is also not me. I'm a male, I'm a female, I'm a third gender, whatever. But the gender is posited on the basis of the body, not on the basis of the mind. And also that people can see me, people cannot see my mind. So therefore even this element of the mind, element of consciousness is also not me. Keep that aside. So what do you see now? You only end up seeing the 6 elements, and none of the 6 elements is to be identified as the self. Okay, there's one possibility. If the self does exist objectively, then one of these 6 elements should be the self. And this is ruled out. Keep that aside. If the 6 elements are not identified as intrinsically as one, as the self, see if the self still exists as objective real, different from the 6 elements. Remove the 6 elements. What happens? And nothing is left there then. Okay. So different from the 6 elements also being ruled out. Okay, now tell me, where is this self from the object? From the object, where's the self? From the object, there's no self to be identified. Stay in this experience for a while. It can be quite scary. A tinge of fear can come in us. For some, ticking sensations can flow in your body. Goosebumps can come in the body. For some, extremely tranquil feeling can come to you, which you never experienced before. If any of these indications come, you're very fortunate. If not, don't worry. It's just an indication that we need to study more, reflect more, meditate more on the emptiness concept, so that eventually these experiences will come to you. Okay. So with this, we see that with this experience of emptiness, wow, this is amazing. If this is how I see the self, I would not be attached to the self. The self is empty, nothing to feel attached to. If this is how I see the cheesecake, if this is how I see other things, my mind will not really chase after these, will not really be glued to these, not feel attached to this. This is such a liberating factor. It's not that somebody is forcing me not to be attached, but naturally my mind will withdraw from being attached to these objects. This is amazing. So with this, even the miseries dissolve, sorrows dissolve, disappear, and the experience of emptiness. Amazing. Okay, wow. Slowly transform this amazingly fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotlessly clean, the thumb size white Vajra. If you don't know Vajra, don't worry. Just like thumb size object, and visualize that standing on the hub of the Monte heart. Okay. Just visualize now that this is amazing. This is known as the blaze of the non-dual bodhicittas, two bodhicittas. The moon, symbolic of the conventional bodhicitta, which wishes to become Buddha for the benefit of demon sentient beings. This will guarantee you to eradicate the self-centered attitude. And a Vajra, symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, which is the non-dual wisdom of the emptiness of the Arya Bodhisattvas, to exterminate all the mental defilements. Wow, this is amazing. So all my mental defilements will be removed by these two, and that my Buddha nature will become manifest fully. Yes, that's true. I feel, what about you two parents? What about your children? What about all the demon sentient beings? They are suffering terribly. Yes, invoke incredible compassion towards them. And with this compassion, imagine this compassion invokes your Vajramoon to multiply infinite number of times. Share one side of the Vajramoon at the heart of you, with your mother at her heart. One side of the Vajramoon with your father at his heart. One side with each one of family members, including children. Each one of the beings here in Bodhicitta Center, in India, in your own country, in the entire world, in the Milky Way galaxy, and in the entire universe, in the ocean. How many trillions and trillions of creatures are there in the ocean? Everybody has a share of the Vajramoon that you have given. And then how many trillions of creatures are there in the wilderness, in the forest? Just you share this Vajramoon to everyone. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so with this in mind, let us turn to page, because we don't have much time, let's turn to page 50, page 50. Taking the expression Bodhisattva vow, I will say these verses together, and then I'll explain the first verse. The first verse says that I go for refuge to True Gem, which means that we are aspiring to become Buddha now, which means I'm going to awaken my Buddha nature within. I'm going to remove the mental defilements so that I'll become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. So this is a journey we have never undertaken thus far. And some of you, how many of you are in India for the first time? Raise hands. India for the first time. Okay, Oscar, from Mexico you came. When you came there, did you check if there is somebody who knows how to go to India? You did that? And the gentleman over there? You asked somebody? You did not ask anybody? You did not ask Google? Then? So some people when they in India, then what? Then you feel like going? You check the map, you ask the map. Yes. So you ask somebody, right? So you have to seek the support of the map, support of a map for what? To guide you. Right? So we need a guide. We need the support. And the greatest of the support and the guide is the Triple Gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So this is a journey where it's not coming from Pakistan to India, your country. Australia to India is not like, it's Buddhahood. It's very far away. So therefore, we need extremely amazing guide and amazing support. And the greatest of the support that you can think of is the Triple Gem. So it's first one says, I'll go for refuge in the Triple Gem. This is the support. Now you have amazing support, but when this journey is a mental journey. It's not external journey. It's not external journey. It's a mental journey of cleansing the mind. So journey involves a road. Yes, journey involves a road, and the road is none other than your own mind. Your mind is the road to enlightenment. So this road, if the road is blocked by the boulders, fallen trees, and so forth, you cannot undertake the journey. So the road must be clear of the boulders and the fallen trees and so forth. So your mind must be freed of the mental defilements, like the fallen trees, boulders, and so forth. You have to clear the mental defilements, negativities, and so forth. So how to do that very effectively? Not all. We cannot remove the all right there, but the gross ones you have to remove. the effective way to doing this is by confessing your negativities. So second line says, I confess the negativities individually in order to clear the road of mind to go to enlightenment. Now the road is very clear. Michael, yes, road is very clear. If the car doesn't have fuel, again you cannot go. Right? Wali, how do you come? Walking? India. From Pakistan you came walking? Walking. You don't buy car. No, I'm not at the border. She didn't take any car. Oh yes. So the car with fuel or without fuel? With fuel, yes. So the destination of Buddhahood is even further away from Pakistan to India. It's way further away. So there should be so much of fuel required for the car. What is that car? The car is none other than the mind. What is that fuel? The fuel of the virtues. We should have enough virtues in order to energy to take you to enlightenment. And that virtue, how to accumulate this virtue within a short span of time most effectively is by rejoicing in the virtues of others. So third line says, I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. Okay, now you have the road is clear and the car is enough fuel. The next question is, where are you going to go? I'm going to go to Buddhahood. The fourth line says, I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. Right? This, okay. Let's say this 3 times together wholeheartedly. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Okay, the next 2 verses, I'll explain this tomorrow. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as the successful dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, just as the successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as the successful dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Okay. Just visualize that Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they're so happy that you have generated the Bodhicitta, and they're so happy, because of which they also have the Vajramoon at the heart in the full-fledged form. So they are so happy. This happiness invokes the Vajramoon to multiply infinite number of times. And all these replicas of Vajramoon, like rain shower, they descend to merge with the. They descend like rain shower to merge with the one they visualize with the heart, thereby blessing, become indwell, become non-dual, and stabilized. Likewise, all these Vajramoon from Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they descend merge with the one that visualize the heart of a mother, father, each one of family members, including children, each of the sentient beings here in Bodhicitta, in India, in a country, in the oceans, in the wilderness, in the forest, in the Milky Way galaxy, in the entire universe. Everyone, the Vajramoon that you have shared, they're being blessed by the descent of the innumerable Vajramoons from Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Feel the joy of having witness this amazing event of all the beings being protected by you, blessed by all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Okay, with this mind, let us turn to the dedication prayer, page 52. The next page. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization that is in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for 3 times and to the upholding of the doctrine of scripture and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mayana vehicle and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages. From our 2 collections, vast the space that I have amassed, working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom is blinded by ignorance. Tiyatha Om Gati Gati Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyatha. Three prestations together.